What's up you guys, Sasha here. Today I want to talk about dividend investing. Dividend investing has become a prominent and a very trendy way of investing money, especially for those who want to have a relatively surefire way of passively earning a reasonable return from the stock market. Now for those people who don't know, dividend investing is basically investing in stocks that pay good dividends as opposed to expecting those stocks to grow in their value. If those stocks grow in value as well as paying good dividends, you're having a double whammy and you're winning on both fronts. But the good thing here is that you don't really care about the stock price, because if you are relying entirely on dividends and those dividends are stable and you're getting those dividends paid all the time, it doesn't matter what happens to the stock price. That's the theory. Now the typical dividend yield from large established companies that you might consider buying shares from generally sits in the 2 to 4% territory, although there are some outliers, and it's typically those outliers that you'd want to be investing in for the dividend strategy, and those outliers may be paying as much as 8% or even higher. Now there are 2 or 3 important things to consider with dividend investments. One of them is that typically large established companies who pay these dividends quarter after quarter or year after year will have a much more robust record of paying those dividends, as opposed to expecting the share price of whatever investing to grow every single year that you have that share invested in. But there's one big downside. Unless your investments are sitting in a stocks and shares ISA account, if you're receiving dividends that you're planning to then reinvest in your portfolio, you will still have to pay tax on those dividends at the point at which they are issued. With a regular investment, you only pay tax when you're exiting your investment, and at that point the capital gains tax or any other applicable taxes in your jurisdiction will apply. Now aside from that, dividend investing has been seen as the sort of sensible, easy to manage, easy to have a certain robust way of earning money in the stock market for quite some time. But is it about to die given the economic situation that we've just found ourselves in? Now just one day ago, BP released their results. Now BP is one of the mainstays in any kind of dividend investment portfolio. They always pay absolutely huge dividends compared to some of the other companies you may be investing in, and a lot of people hold their shares for that reason. Now in this quarterly report that they've just published, they managed to record a record £5.2 billion loss, and that means that their dividends are going to go down considerably. Having previously paid 10.5 cents per share, they're now going to be paying 5.25 cents per share, which is a massive reduction, although even at that level, it's still going to be somewhere in the region of 6% in terms of your yield. There's a lot of other interesting things in that report. They're shedding 10,000 jobs around the world, of which 2,000 are in the UK. At the same time, some of the positives about the company, some of the reasons why I personally hold BP shares are continuing to be focused on, and I really like that. They're saying that they have this big ambition to turn the company from an old school petroleum company to a new type of energy company, and as part of that they're trying to rebrand themselves as Beyond Petroleum from their previous name, which I do admire, and I think this is the right way to go. But it doesn't take away from the fact that one of the historically biggest dividend yield companies out there has massively slashed their dividends, and this is following on from some other companies that are doing the same. Now a lot of new or less experienced investors will be investing in dividend yield stocks by picking those stocks that pay the highest payout ratios, and that can be a problem. A healthy dividend payout ratio is usually assumed to be somewhere in the 40 to 50% ratio, and that means that the company is paying out 40 to 50% of their profits to their shareholders, and the rest of the money they go and reinvest back in the business. And that is a great thing, because there are 2 amazing outcomes that come from that. One, the company's shares might grow in the future because they are reinvesting in their business. They're looking out for the future. They're wanting to grow their business, and that's why they're reinvesting the money. And 2, the amount that you get paid in those dividends might also increase going forward. Companies that pay high dividend payouts of 60% or more might seem like they're the good bet in the short term, but in the longer term that's usually a bad thing. It's important to remember that it is very rare for companies to have a stock that grows in price and pays high dividend payouts. Notably in tech space, where company share prices have been growing massively over the last 20 years, you'll notice that the majority of the big players don't pay any dividends at all. Now, Apple pays something like 25% on their payouts, Microsoft pays 35%. They had a few years where they were paying significantly above that, but if you look longer term, that tends to be where they're paying out. But some other players don't pay anything. Alphabet, who's the parent company of Google, Facebook, Amazon, Tesla, do not pay dividends as a matter of principle because they still see themselves as being in the growth stage of their business. So in the past, some people might have opted for the more stable path of going down the dividend investment route because that would yield relatively stable, relatively guaranteed, nothing's guaranteed in this world, but relatively guaranteed returns because companies tend to stick with the same payout ratio year after year for quite a long period of time. But suddenly, with the massive uncertainty facing so many of these large companies and the massive uncertainty around the economy of the future, a lot of these dividends are likely to be slashed, and some of these companies might slash them by a huge margin. So is dividend investing still a valid strategy today? Although we've had a ton of financial crashes in the past, they tend to happen every 10 to 15 years. We had the big one in 2008, and we've had ones in the 90s and before that, but this time the situation is genuinely quite a bit different. There is a massive uncertainty around jobs, there is a massive uncertainty around the outlook on the future, an uncertainty around whether people are going to be able to go out and spend their money, an uncertainty around whether people are going to have to stay indoors, an uncertainty around people's education, an uncertainty around their careers. There is just so much hanging in the air that it is impossible to make any robust forecasts. In the past, companies that reinvested 50% of their profits back into their business were seen as somewhat conservative, but today the likelihood is they'll want to keep a lot more of their cash on their books because of this uncertainty. And if these companies decide to significantly reduce their dividends at this point, it might take them quite a long time to actually go and increase them back to the levels that they were at before. Having said that, exactly the same argument can be made for share prices. If you're investing in the stock market at all, there is a lot more uncertainty, a lot more volatility, and a lot less knowns and a lot more unknowns compared to before. From my perspective, you can't really clearly say whether the dividend investment strategy or focusing on share prices is the right way to go at this point. I'm personally the mindset that being diversified and having a portfolio that has a range of different types of companies who have slightly different strategies when it comes to dividends is probably going to be the best way of moving forward if you're planning to keep your investments and continue investing in the stock market. If you're investing already in ETFs that are based on some kind of index funds or any other large funds of this nature, you're probably already doing this indirectly because the companies that you're going to be investing in are going to be split between those that are primarily dividend based or those where you're relying on their stock price to go up. And the truth is that investment in those types of funds for the vast majority of people, for 90, 95, maybe even 99% of people, is usually going to outweigh the performance that they can get if they're manually picking different stocks and trying to manage their own portfolio themselves. If you're a dividend investor, please make sure you leave a comment below telling me your thoughts. If you're not, please get engaged in the discussion. I'd be really interested to hear different people's opinions. If you haven't done so already, please go and smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. It is incredibly important. My channel is still very new, only a few months old. It would help this channel grow and reach more people more quickly if you just go and smash that like button right now. Please go and do it. If you're interested in videos about personal finance, about investments, about making more of the money that you have, make sure you go and subscribe to this channel. I release videos 3 times a week on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Hit the bell so you get notifications every single time one of my videos comes out, and I'll see you guys later.